Welcome to PecksTV.
Hi, welcome to PecksTV. Thank you, Renee, for that lovely introduction. My name's Geoff Peck, and we're continuing on from our series about toilets, covering some of the basics and the differences between the different systems and things like that. In the last series, we talked about, just covered really some of the real basic principles of the toilets, the different types of the S-pan going through the floor and the waste pipe going through the wall, which is the P-pan, and the link suite, and some of the things about the inlets and stuff like that. Today what we're going to do is we're going to just extend that a little bit further and talk about closed coupled suites versus back to wall suites. Closed coupled suites and back to wall suites do have quite a few things in similar, but also too they are quite different in some ways as well. So what we'll do is we'll just quickly talk a little bit about the closed coupled suite, compare that to the back to wall suite, and I'm sure it'll all make sense as we work through it. This here is a closed coupled suite. A closed coupled suite differs from the link suite, which we showed in the last series, in the sense that the cistern is actually bolted to the pan. This is quite an important thing. It means that there is very little tolerance when it comes to where particularly the S-pan is set out through the floor. You are quite determined by that distance, simply because you don't have the ability to move the pan forward or backwards like you do with a link suite. All closed coupled suites are available as a P or an S-pan, so you can choose it to suit your thing, your situation rather. But the key is, particularly with the S-pan and the set out, is that you need to know what that set out is and make sure you buy a closed coupled suite to suit the situation you've got in your home. The back to wall suite here is very similar in the sense that the cistern is always bolted to the pan. That is the two very main similarities. With the closed coupled suite here, you'll see, I'll just move this around for you, in the sense that while you can't see the trunk or the waste pipe of the toilet, that's all hidden away nicely. You do have these situations where there is generally a shelf of some sort there, which can be a wee bit of a dust collector over time, and also too the fact that the pan does not go all the way back to the wall. So once again you have a wee bit of a gap through there and around here where there is a potential for dust and bits and pieces to gather. Whereas here, if you have a look at the back to wall suite, they are always, for the reason they're called, back to wall. The pan goes all the way back, and generally they're nice and enclosed like this, so there is no shelves and things for dust to collect. There are some back to wall suites that part of the design detail is the fact that there is a wee bit of a shelf and things like that. But in general, this is a typical back to wall suite. It goes all the way back, nice and easy to clean and maintain, and easy to look after. Usually with closed coupled suites, the toilet seat is what they call a standard seat, in the sense that it's not soft close, so if you drop that, it's going to bang. Whereas the majority of back to wall suites today are soft closed seats, and just a nice feature to have, particularly if you've got kids. No chance of the seats being slammed and things like that. The last thing that I do want to touch on is the water inlets, which is where the water comes into the system. They are different, generally different between the two types, between the closed coupled and the back to wall suite. With the closed coupled suite, it's the same as like the link suite, which we talked about last time, where the inlets are the water inlet either comes in through the bottom of the cistern on the right or on the left hand side. Usually on the right is a typical one, but quite often has the ability to be changed to the left. With the back to wall suites, the majority of them today have what they call a back inlet, which is where in here is where you'd have your little cistern tap, and the feed comes in through the back of there. The main reason for that is obviously with the pan going all the way back to the wall there, no way for the hose to connect from the water inlet if it's here through the side of the pan. So majority of them, probably 90% of them these days, are actually back inlets. There are some manufacturers now that are recognising for the need for retrofit type situations where people may have something like this, or a traditional link sweep, but they want to go to a back to wall sweep. Don't want to have to go to the additional expense of shifting the inlet pipe, which would typically be down low, up to there, meaning cutting open jib board, additional plumbers costs, redecorating, etc. There are suppliers bringing out pans now that have a little hole through the side on either side and have little caps, and what that does is it means you can leave your cistern tap here and have the hose go through the side and connect up underneath the cistern, meaning just a quick and easy swap over situation. Not all suppliers are doing that yet, but a lot of them are starting to do that for that retrofit market. And that sort of covers everything very briefly on closed couple suites versus back to wall suites. I hope you found something of interest there, and next time we'll talk about back to wall suites versus in-wall systems, wall hung pans and things like that, and that'll cover off everything you probably need to know when it comes to toilet suites. Thanks.